and I don't know what to do. I'm looking around and I'm saying to myself, like, where the heck is my muse gonna come from?
Yes. Well, these things come from unexpected places sometimes,
Uh, Girl,
Things like that come from unexpected places sometimes.
that's true. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Jennifer's Perspective. I hope that everyone had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. My very special guest this afternoon is Miss Lynn Hankins. And Lynn, let me just get all the information here. Lynn Hankins has attended City College and graduated in 1986 with a Bachelor's of Science degree. She began her career as a registered nurse with her first full-time job at Columbia Presbyterian Medical Center on an inpatient medical and surgical unit, and then on to maternity. Lynn has also studied aesthetics at Kristen Valmy International School, where she received her license as an esthetician and certification as a makeup artist. Crossing medical and beauty, she now offers consultations in wellness. Everyone, welcome Lynn Haskins, the esthetician and makeup artist. How you doing, girl?
I'm doing wonderful. How you doing?
I'm doing good, 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 good. Listen, tell us a little bit about your story and your journey.
Well, my story is a story like a lot of fellow nurses. You start school, you go into nursing, you come out, you get a job, you work with patients from different walks of life, different cultures, different ethnicities. And what happened with me is the pandemic basically put me in a new frame of mind. It made me come out of my inpatient hospital nursing and go into a business that led me to esthetician work, that led me to becoming an author of a few books.
Now, what is the name of your company? What is the name of the book?
Okay, the name of my company is Lady Fingers NYC, and the name of my most recent book is Keys to Winning at Love.
Keys to Winning at Love. Now, why did you pick that title?
Well, I realized that there are a lot of single people in the world, and who doesn't want to have love in their life, right? So we all struggle with
So you
finding,
picked that title because why?
because it's something that you want to win at. It's something that you want to have success with. It's something that we all strive for and desire and look for, and hopefully some of us are successful and some of us are not successful. So I figured I would try to help, to make it a successful win for people.
Now, what have you noticed regarding the book that made you want to say, how to win at love? Is this something that you've experienced? Is this something that you've seen in life? Or is the book for millennials, people in midlife like you and myself, people for senior citizen? Who is this book geared towards?
This book is geared toward anyone basically that is in the status of being single, whether they're a widower or whether they're just, straight up single, because, it's not an easy task for us. And I figured if I could give some pointers of things that I've learned that maybe it could help other people to be successful at it.
Nice, nice. Now, can you read us some of the excerpts from your book?
Well, I don't have it with me, but I can tell you some of the items that were covered. Basically,
some of the topics.
Yeah, how to avoid catfishing, because I find that seems to be a big problem on these dating apps. People will portray themselves to be something, and then when you come to find the truth, they're someone totally different than who you thought they were.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, I gave an
But
example of
but but
my
wait
book.
a minute, wasn't there a movie like that? What
Yeah, there was
was
a show,
that?
catfishing. Catfishing, yes.
There's a TV series on
Yes.
MTV called
Yes.
Catfish,
Catfishing, yes. And
and I think
it's a
Tyler
story.
Perry also did a similar, something similar
I think he did.
with
So,
Nobody's Fool. With
yes.
Nobody's Fool, Tiffany
Yes.
Haddish was
Yes. 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 I tell you, it is so interesting what people try to pull off on you. You're being an unsuspecting person, vulnerable, heart kind of on your sleeve, looking for someone to love. And then here comes this person portraying all these
looking
wonderful
for a
things.
man, looking
Yes, you're
for a
looking.
man, M-A-N.
Yes, listen, and when you come to find the truth, you're talking to someone completely different than who you thought you were talking to.
That happens. Oh my God, that happened to me.
It's
I remember the first time, I think when right after my divorce, I tried like online dating. Oh my
okay.
God, the shenanigans. When I say the shenanigans, I mean the shenanigans. Like
Yes, yes,
the insanity. And
it's
when I
crazy.
realized that the photo that they posted, they didn't look like the photo, like
Yes,
they said that they were tall. And when I
yes,
met them in person, it like reached me to my boob. And I'm
yes,
like, well, wait a minute. Like,
yes,
what happened here? Like,
yes. And you know what? It's funny because I find, or my experience was that I find people, the men that I was trying to talk to, they were very hesitant to get on a phone call. All they want to do is text. They don't want to get on phone calls, and they definitely don't want to get on Zoom or FaceTime or Skype or anything where you're actually visualizing them. So to me, that's a red flag, because that means you have something to hide.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, I want people to be safe, and trying these dating apps and going out on dates but I want them to have fun. So it's a thing to where I want people to be safe and to have fun and be knowledgeable, to look out for certain things.
Nice, nice. I
Yeah.
think women need to be a little bit smarter in
Yes.
today's dating world,
Yes.
especially with the technology, because they have so many cut, copy, paste, Photoshop,
Yes.
all
Yes.
kind of all kind of
Oh,
foolishness and shenanigans. And I
yes.
think this is something that they should be aware of, but remain open. Walk into love with your eyes. Can I do that?
Wide open. Yes. Toothpicks in your eyes, basically. Yes.
Like
Yes.
toothpicks in your eyes,
Yes.
and with your eyes wide open, because I think that with the pandemic, people are vulnerable. And
Yes.
especially single women are even more vulnerable now
Yes.
because this pandemic is raving havoc. Can I say that word? Raving
Yes.
havoc on
Yes.
our emotions, our mental state, our
Yes.
pockets financially.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. 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 Yes.
So there's a lot of scamming, scam, 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 scam,
Yes.
and fraud that is actually taking place right now.
Yes. And from the other side of the fence, a few of the men that I talked to basically told me that their take from this was that a lot of single women, I wouldn't even say it's millennials, I'll just say single women, are doing things like, asking them to send money through their Cash App, which, I mean, to me is like a
Accent
little, yeah, they would
men.
give, yeah, they would give them their
Oh yeah,
Cash
man.
App
Let me tell you, they
and
ask
tell
for
them to send
Cash
money.
App. Then they say, "Can you get me like a gift card or this
Yes.
or that?"
Yes.
And I'm like, "Well,
Yes.
wait a minute. Like, are you trying to meet me or scam me?"
Exactly. Exactly.
And it could be, you don't know who's on the other end of a text. It could be a male, it could be a
Yes.
female, it could be a
Yes.
non-binary person, it could be
Yes.
anybody.
Yes. Yes.
It could
So true.
be Listen, it could be anybody,
Of
because a
course.
thief is a thief is a thief is a thief is a thief, and that
Yes.
thief has no face.
Yes. 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 Oh my
So,
goodness.
what is the title of the book?
Keys to Winning at Love.
Keys to Winning at Love. I was watching
Yes.
Steve Harvey yesterday when he was discussing Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. Remember the
Yes.
movie that he did?
I do. I
And
do.
there's so many women that is applying that 90-day rule. But do you
Yes.
think that 90-day rule should still be implemented for women for women of any age, whether they're in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, or 60s, or trying to do the senior citizen dating thing?
Well, you know what? My personal take is I kind of agree with that rule because, men can, pull the wool over on you sometimes, and they can pull it off for a good amount of time sometimes. You're going along, you're thinking this guy is wonderful, he's Mr. Everything. And then when they kind of get tired of the facade, then you see who they really are. So that usually takes a little time. They don't generally show you that right off the bat. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you wanna have at least some feeling that you are giving yourself to the right person, and that takes a little doing, a little time. You know what I mean? Now, women in the more senior category, I don't know that I would say they need the 90
Well,
days.
listen, they could be like considered low-hanging fruit. Who knows? Maybe they don't need the 90 days, but don't you think that they should? Uh, Lynn, hello, 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 hello.
Hello.
Lynn, I can't
Yes.
see you. I
Oh my
can't
goodness.
see you.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. I don't
Now,
know. I
don't
put my do not disturb on, but something came on my screen. I'm sorry.
don't you think that women, like you're saying, you don't think they need the 90 days, maybe 30 days, 2 weeks, a month?
Maybe
What would be appropriate?
I would say 30 days. I would say 30 days. I would say because some
Nice.
guys can pull the wool over for a little time. They can pull it over sometimes for a little more than 2 weeks. So I would say the 30 days I think would be good for women in our more senior category. I think
And
that's good.
what would you recommend? Would you recommend that they meet in person and spend time together? Because
Well,
who the heck has time to be doing this all daggone day long?
yes. You know what my thing is? Initially, like when I did my experience, I would text for, maybe a day or two or maybe three, and then I want to get on a phone call. After a phone call, I want to see who I'm talking to. And then once I see who I'm talking to, then we can take it to, a face-to-face date. But in that date,
Nice.
be safe. You want to go
Nice
to a public place.
stages.
You don't
Yes.
want to have the person come to your house. You don't want to go to their house. You want to go somewhere public. So, in any event, if something really crazy goes on, you're in a public space and you're safe. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yes.
Okie dokie. Well, this is a must read.
Yes. I think it's going to make for good reading, because, the pandemic has really changed the face of how people meeting and how, dating is being done. So you want to be smart. You want to look out for yourself, for your safety, but you still want to have fun. You still want to have
Mhm.
that
And live.
experience. Yes.
Live.
Yes.
Live live
Yes.
while you're alive.
Yes.
Ah,
Definitely.
awesome. Awesome. All right. Now, can you sit up a little bit? Because it's like,
Oh,
there
sorry.
we go.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Now,
Okay.
tell me a little bit about the company.
The company actually I came up with about 3 years ago because, the career was kind of taking a turn in a certain direction. I said, maybe
Mhm.
this is a sign I need to do something different. So I've always had an interest in wellness and things with the skin and
Mhm.
people feel better about themselves. So that's what put me into, going into esthetician school, becoming an esthetician. And in the pandemic,
You're freezing up.
people to do facials. So that's when
Mhm.
the wellness part came in, the
Mhm.
consults, I would, if people have chronic illnesses, I can help guide them towards, better education as far as how to take care of their health and wellness. helping them, to get better visits at their doctor, having better test result numbers, all of those wonderful things. Because I think it's important, very, very important. Health is wealth.
Now, what made you decide to become an esthetician?
Skin has always been of interest to me in my career of nursing. And I see that a lot of people, men and women, both struggle with, certain skin conditions that can lead to things like low self-esteem, low self-confidence. So I figured, if I can help them conquer these things, it can increase their self-confidence, help them to have better work balance with life, with family, with career. Because when you feel good about how you look, you tend to be happier, you tend to be more productive in your workplace, you tend to be happier at home. So, I want to help people to be able to get that.
Okie dokie. And how long have you been in business?
I've been in business 3 years now.
What type of services do you offer?
I offer a variety of facials. I also do back massages. I am a certified makeup artist. And then, the wellness part is the consultations. I'm in the process of putting together an online course. It basically talks about, eating clean and exercise and living a better lifestyle. So that's something that's on the back burner, on the horizon, as they say.
Okie dokie. And if they wanted to get in contact with you, how could they connect with you?
My website is ladyfingersnyc.com. And they can go on there, they can book appointments, they can contact me as far as if they want to DM me and, text me, and then we can set up, consultations for wellness, or if they want me to come to their home and do facials or back massages. So I try to reach all different aspects of, what people might need.
And what is the price range? Never there.
Well, the basic facial is like $75, and then the more advanced, like specialized facials can go up to $200, where you're getting like double exfoliation type things. So you want to get that dewy, youthful skin. You want to clean up, any patches of hyperpigmentation. You want to deal with blackheads. You want to get extraction. So it's a whole menu of things that can be done.
Nice. And how long are the sessions?
The sessions usually are an hour because, I start off with skin analysis. I look at your skin and see what your skin type is, what you might need, what would be the best facial for you. And then I'm going to, come back to you and ask you what you feel is something that you need, because you always want to make sure you're going with the client's needs, what they say that they, what they desire. So it's a collaborative effort between the esthetician and the client.
Nice. Let's see. And how long are the sessions? What is it? A half an hour, an hour session?
About an hour. It's about an hour, because I like to take my time. I look under the magnifying mirror at the skin to see what skin type you are, what's, underlying conditions you might have, how much you might need, how much you might need in the way of extractions. So it's a process, it starts with that, and then we go all the way through the, cleansing, exfoliation, toning, extractions. And then depending on what you're getting, might be double exfoliation, might be chemical peels. So it's a nice process, very nice.
Now, what should someone do to prep before coming to see you?
I would ask them to try to hydrate themselves, because water is very important in skin health. So they should try to maintain a certain level of hydration. And they can do a basic facial, whatever products. And if they want to bring their products in, we can have a sit down conversation about, the efficacy of what they might be using. Because sometimes we don't always know what's the best products. And sometimes, you might need a little guidance into making better choices than what your present skincare routine might be.
Now, let's see. How can you give us some little tips on how to care for our skin, in between treatments?
Well,
Or just on a daily basis?
On a daily basis, you want to be using sunscreen, because obviously you want to protect your skin against skin cancer. That's a across the board for everybody. And then things like exfoliation. I think sometimes people don't realize the importance of exfoliation. That should be, something that you're doing at least twice a week, because the
Mhm.
skin has, a turnover period, and you want to turn over the new skin cells, and that's what keeps you looking moisturized and dewy and youthful. When you don't do that on a kind of regular basis, then you get a buildup dead skin cells, and then you look very dried and you look aged and wrinkly and whatnot. So I think those are some of
Ooh,
the basic things. But see,
wow.
you don't have that problem because you are nice and youthful and smooth and moisturized. So I know you're doing your exfoliation, right?
Listen, I have a big birthday coming up on the
Ooh,
28th. On the
okay,
28th.
okay.
And
All right, Miss
it's a
Jennifer.
milestone. It is a
Yes,
milestone.
yes.
Now, let's see, exfoliation, what type of products should they use to exfoliate the skin?
Exfoliation should be a gentle process. You don't want anything really gritty, because when you use things that are really gritty, you can cause irritation, and then that can cause additional breakouts. So you want to use something that has like maybe rice beads, or gentle vitamin C, things that are good for the skin but are gentle for the skin, because you want to do the process, but you also want to be loving and kind to your skin. That's very, very important,
Nice.
because irritation can cause scarring and all kind of bad things for your skin. When you love your skin and you take good care of it, it shows.
Awesome, awesome,
Yes.
awesome. Well, I think we have like 2 more minutes. Do you have any more tidbits for us? And
Well, I wanted to say about the book, I realized, because I don't watch the news regularly, but I do on occasion look at the news. And I really feel that for the most part, if we had a little bit more love in the world, maybe we'd have a reduction in some of the mass shooting type things, the violence that we see, because generally speaking, these things are all done by, members of the male population. So to me, that
Mhm.
means maybe they had like childhood trauma. They're not loved. They don't have anyone that loves them in their life. So, if you have love, generally you're a happier person. So, maybe if people can find love, it can help us, have a better work environment, a better health environment, better world environment. People can get along better, because people that are in love and have a true love connection are generally happier people. So if I can help with that, I hope, that the book can help people to do that.
And I think that's such a true thing, because when it comes to what they say, hurt people, and angry people.
Yes.
And I see
Yes.
angry people lash out at other people, and I don't understand. But you also there's a spirit of control, manipulation. There's
Yes.
also a spirit of jealousy and bigotry, along
Yes.
with anger and shame. And these are
Yes.
things that should be addressed when it comes to how we interact with each other
Yes. I agree.
as
I
human beings.
Yes. Yes. And I just recently got my books. They are being translated into Spanish, because I realized there is a large community of Spanish speaking people. So I want to be able to reach people on a different, multilingual level almost.
Nice, nice,
Mhm. Yeah.
awesome.
Yes.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
congratulations. Woo! Boss up,
Yeah.
sis, boss up.
Yeah.
Woo, woo, woo,
Yes.
woo.
Yeah. Yes.
Congratulations. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Now, where can they pick up a copy of your book?
My book is on Amazon. So if they go to my website, it will give them the connection that they can get, to order the book. And I have the three
Awesome.
books. It's The Keys to Wellness, which was my first book. And then now
Mhm.
it's the dating book for men, and there's an edition for women. So I hope
Listen,
that people go out and get it.
we
Yes.
both need to know. We both, men
Yes.
and women
Yes.
need advice. I was
Yes.
listening to, I think it was a Facebook Live, and what it is that men are actually looking for in a woman. And I
Right.
sat down and I was saying to myself, like, women are looking for good quality men, but men are
Yes.
also looking for the same thing.
Yes. 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 And I think that as women, some
There's
of us
good men
kind of
out there. There
don't.
really are good
Yes.
men and good women in the world. There really
Yes.
is.
Yes. But we have to find each other. That's the issue.
And
We have to
that is
find
the
each other.
thing. Mhm.
Yes. Yes.
No, he has to find me. I ain't got no time chasing no damn body unless he worth chasing. He got to
Well,
be a real person. Listen, he has
listen.
to be a real person.
Yes.
And
But you know what? I realized, I think
like,
that
why do I
sometimes
always got to be the alpha? I'm the alpha
I,
female. Do I have to
I,
be the alpha in every daggone thing?
I
Can I at
don't know. But you
least
know
be
what?
submissive from time to time? Come get me, man. I can't be the damn
But a
man
lot of
and
us,
woman.
a lot of us, a lot of us don't know how to do that. I mean, a lot
Like,
of us are
like,
entrepreneurs, we're independent, but we don't recognize what that high value man is looking for. Now, he has a lot of them have their money, they have their businesses, but they want someone that can bring to the table something that they're looking for. Now, it's not just, a lot of women think it's about having good sex. I don't think it's just about having good sex. A man could go out and pay for that. You know what I mean? He wants that woman that has his back. If he's an entrepreneur and he's just starting his business, that woman can go out and hand out his business cards or handle his phone calls, people that are calling to try to book
exactly.
appointments. That's the thing that they want. And I think a lot of us women don't realize that. We think it's about twerking
They,
and,
no, they want
giving them good
support.
sex and no. They
Mm-mm, they need,
look at the movie Pretty Woman. Now, Richard Gere was a businessman with money. He picked Julia Roberts up, because he, basically was going to have his way with her for the night. But she brought to him something that he did not have. She taught him how to live. She had him in the park with his shoes off, reading books. These were things that he didn't probably recognize that he wanted. But when he got her, that's what made him fall in love with her. Not because of the sex, but because she brought
congratulations.
something.
I like that
Yes,
movie. I
I
actually
love
like
that
that
movie.
movie. I like that
Yes,
movie. And I also
yes.
like, what is the other movie? Good Deeds, I think. I like that
Yes,
movie
I love that
too.
movie with Tyler
I like
Perry.
that movie too.
Yes,
I like that
yes,
movie too.
yes. When she
But
went to lunch on the motorcycle with him.
I
Yes,
like that. I like that movie. But we live
I
in the
love that
real
movie.
world. We live
Yes, but we
in
have
the
to realize
real
that.
world. And I'm
We have
like,
to realize
listen, right
that's what it
now,
is.
my
That's
mom
what it
is
is.
at an age right now where I can't go gallivanting around the world chasing no damn body. So if he want me, he better come get me or find me somewhere right now
But you know
because
what? Now,
I can't.
Jennifer, I'm gonna give you some pearls of wisdom. You have to put your mindset around putting yourself in a different environment because that's the mindset I had to put myself in. You
Listen,
can't
I
always go to the
am. I've
same places.
always no, let me tell you something. No, when I
Mm-hmm.
want something, if I see a man that I'm attracted to,
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't even have to guess how does she feel about me.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Because
Okay.
I'm very
Okay. All
open.
right.
I'm very open. I wear my heart
Oh,
on
that.
my sleeve. I've always
Oh,
been
okay.
like that. I have always been
Okay.
like that.
That's good.
I wear my heart on my sleeve, but like right now, I'm in a vulnerable state right now, and I
Right.
know that. But that's something too. It is what it is. I'm not fearful
Yes.
and I'm not in
Yes.
denial, but
Yes.
I know that I am ready,
Yes. But you know what I
but
think a lot of women.
I'm just not gonna settle.
Exactly. A lot of women don't know how to spend that time with themselves first. You have to get to know yourself before you can open your heart to someone else. You have to get to
Mm-mm.
know what you enjoy before you go to that next person. And a lot of women, I think, don't take the time to do that. They'll be in a relationship, the relationship will end, and then they'll jump into something, before really taking that time to kind of heal even, in some cases, and,
Mhm.
self-discovery, find out what makes you happy. What things do you enjoy? You know what I mean? I think
And
a lot
not
of times we
only that,
take the time.
I'm
Yeah, we
really
don't take the time.
supportive. I'm very supportive. When I say that I'm extremely supportive, oh my God.
Oh, well, you're going to get you a high value man then. You got the qualifications. These are the things that I think that they're looking for. These are the things, and a lot of us.
And I'm a good listener, and I know when to
Oh,
give
you
you
got,
space,
yes,
and I know when not to crowd
yes,
you, and I know when to,
yes.
and
Well,
it's
you know
it
what?
it it is what it is.
I think
So
sometimes, even for you, you have the qualities that are desirable, but sometimes it has to happen in the time that it's due, in its due season. So maybe right
I
at this
know
particular
that
moment, it's not the due season.
it's not the
Yes.
season.
So
It
just,
is not the
yes,
season,
yes,
and it's
yes.
not the season right now. I'm hanging out. I'm hanging with my sisters and my mom,
Okay.
and I'm cool with
Okay.
that. I'm
Okay.
cool with
You're
that. New
you're in
state, I'm
preparation.
acclimating. Mhm,
Yes, you're in preparation. You're in
mhm,
preparation. You're being
mhm.
prepared. That's what it is for you. That's what it is for some of us women. We're in the mode of preparation. We're being prepared for that person to come in our life. And when the time is right, that person will come. That's how I believe.
No, that's what they want. Anyway, next.
Oh, well, listen.
Mm,
You're not
I'm
by yourself.
open. Listen, I am open. I am open. Do you think that women should limit themselves to their own race, or should they be open to other ethnicities?
Now, you know what? It's funny that you asked that, because traditionally, for my perspective, I have always kind of limited myself, not necessarily because of any particular reason. I just kind of was in that environment where it was only my own people that I kind of dealt with for the
But
majority,
times has changed.
for times to change. Look, I look at it, if the man brings to the table thing that you
What
want
is
in a
he
man,
bringing to
it
the
does not
table? Does
matter.
he has those qualities?
Yes, it does not matter. As long as
Exactly.
there's a compatibility, there's a respect, there's a love, it does not matter, or it should not matter. As long as that man
Mhm.
gives you that love and that honesty and that sincerity and loyalty and all those
And
wonderful qualities,
honor.
we should not
Mhm.
discriminate. We should take whoever that man, whatever he looks like. Doesn't have to be of our particular ethnicity. As long as he has the qualities that are desirable, that should be the selling ticket.
So I really believe that love is blind, because love is what it is. And I
Yes,
sit down, for real, I sit down and I say that people need love. People need
yes,
love. And because
yes.
God created us to be social creatures,
Exactly.
people need each other.
Yes. Yes.
Good.
We are
So
not made to be
whoever
alone.
you happen to fall in love with, uh,
Yeah. As long
I'm
as
like,
there's that
hey,
that love
I
and that
like people
communication.
to be happy.
Me
Do that make sense?
too.
I
I
like
love for
people to
people to be
be
happy.
happy. I like
Yes.
people to be in the struggle together. I like people
Yes.
to be, I am so for that. I am so
Yes.
for that unity. And there's a difference now. There's a difference between clingy, needy, and independent and not independent. There are
Yes.
all different types of people. I think
Yes.
I'm learning to be dependent.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's something that we have to learn, I admit, because I am a woman that I've always, fended for myself, didn't look to anybody to, do anything for me. So it's a learn, you have to learn to kind of pull back a little bit and allow that, you know, man, I'm gonna say in my particular, case, let that
In my
man do
particular
things for
case,
you.
is a man.
Yes, yes,
Uh,
yes. Because now we're in the non-binary and polyamorous and all kind of different
Listen,
situations.
I'm not no like listen,
Yes,
I
yes.
don't knock
So
people. If that
yes,
is how you
exactly.
free will is just what
Yes,
it is. Free
yes,
will. Free will,
yes,
free will is that. But
yeah,
for
yes,
say for a woman that is looking for a man or
Mm-hmm.
seeking a man, and a
Mm-hmm.
woman that would like to be in a relationship with a man, what
Yes.
are some of your suggestions?
I think it's important to let that man know that you appreciate him and that you hear him, because everybody
Yes,
at the end of the day wants to be heard, wants to be respected, wants to be appreciated. So if the man does things for you, you have to let him know that you appreciate what he
yes,
does. And I think a lot of us, we kind of forget to do that, and that makes the man feel some kind of way. So then at a certain point, that man's going to, basically start to look for someone that's going to give him that. And that's where the cheating comes into play. A lot of
and
people think it's about sex.
listen, I totally believe that. I
Yes.
totally believe that, because the same way women want to feel appreciated, that man
Yes.
wants to feel appreciated as well.
Of course. Of course. Of course. He wants to feel appreciated. He wants to feel wanted. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? A lot of
Hmm.
women, I think they have a tendency, especially when we're the independent women, we make the man feel like he's not needed, you know? And when a man feels like he's not needed, he's going to look for that, feeling from
Where
someone.
he's needed.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hmm.
So Jane down the street, she, sees him and he fixes her car or something, and she says, "Oh, thank you so much for helping me fix my car." He's going to pour into that because he's not getting that at home. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
here you go.
Hmm.
Now your man is down the street with Jane, and you're at home by yourself. You're at home by yourself. So
Listen,
we gotta. Mm-mm. A lot
mm-mm.
of women
And
think it's
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 not only
old
that.
school. No, it's old school, but
It's
it
basic,
works.
but it's
It
not
works.
only old school. I think any man or even a woman appreciates a man that makes sacrifices for her, that works
Yes.
for her, that,
Yeah.
invests his time, energy, and
Of
money
course.
in her. You
Yes,
understand?
yes. But we gotta pull ourselves up by the bootstraps and kind of recognize these things and try to
Everybody
work
can't be the
through it.
damn hoe.
No, listen. Let him, as the saying says, let a man be a man. A man has
Exactly.
a natural tendency to do certain things. He wants, like Steve Harvey says, he wants to protect, he wants to profess, he wants to provide. You have to kind of let that man do that. If you take that away from him, you're taking away his manhood. And then that's going to make him feel some kind of
Exactly.
way. So
Exactly.
we gotta recognize
Exactly.
this. Yes, we gotta recognize this and carry
Exactly.
carry ourselves accordingly. So
Now, what is your take on when it comes to finances and say the woman makes more money than the man? What is
okay.
your thing with that? Where do
Uh,
you see, where do you see in areas where that areas can be improved? Because you have some men struggle with that.
yes, but you know what? If the woman makes more money and the man doesn't particularly, the man I'm sure has other ways to pour into that relationship. Maybe he can
Mhm.
do things as far as taking care of the children. He can make sure the kids have their bath. He can make sure
He
that they're
has to
fed.
play his
He can help them with
position.
homework. Yes. So in anything, you want to find that compatibility. Sometimes as women, you might find
And
yourself
still support
being the,
her, and
yes,
still
being
give her the emotional support that she needs, or
exactly.
right.
Exactly. So you have
I
some
think,
men that are like the stay-at-home dads. They're the
mhm,
ones that make sure the kids' homework is done. They're the ones that make sure the kids have their bath. They make a little, dinner, whatever. Mom gets home from work. Mom can just come and take her shower and go to bed because he's seen to everything that needed to be done in the house. So sometimes the relationship has to be gauged on what
there
the two
has
people
to be a
bring.
balance.
Yes. And the same thing in the other situation. If the man is the one that makes more money, the
He
woman,
can't be the man in the street and be the wife in the house at the same
right,
time. Right.
right. So it's
Everybody
about
has to
balance.
play their position.
Yes, it's about balance and finding that balance. That's
Mhm,
that's how I see it. You have to find that
mhm.
balance.
I
So
think honor and respect plays a big part in it, because what most people don't understand is when you're in a relationship, you're serving each other,
yes,
submitting to each other.
yes,
And a lot of people don't understand that. They think it's either you can't give a 100% and the other person give
No,
25%. You have to be all in on that, in that relationship.
exactly. And you have to have trust and communication.
Communication.
If you don't
Mhm.
have that, you have nothing. Because, you know, that man goes away from the house, say at 7 a.m, says he's going to work, and he comes home at maybe 7 p.m. Now, if you don't have that trust that that man is at work, you're going to be looking in his phone. You're going to be,
Mhm.
you know, calling him at his job. You're going to be doing all these things to drive yourself crazy.
Harassing them.
Yes. Listen, but if you have the trust and you feel like he's a man of his word, then when he comes in, you know, you all have your time together. So he might have his time with his friends, right? The lady might have her time with her friends, but then there's a time when they come together. You know what I mean? And I think that's important, because I think when you have this thing where you're up under somebody 24/7, that's when the arguments and the disagreements start, because you're like suffocating. You know, you're smothering this person. They have to
Don't
have
smother
time.
anybody. You can't do
Yes,
that.
yes,
Listen, I need my own
yes,
space. Hello.
exactly,
And
exactly.
and I also need time to think. I need time to
Yes,
think. I need time to catch up with myself. But
yes.
there's also that what was the word that I was going to use? I was going to bring that, I guess it wasn't important. When it comes to serving each other, I think honor, respect, submission, but allowing each other to still be their own person.
Of course, because that happens to a lot of people. They lose themselves in the relationship. They forget who they are. You know what I mean? So you have to always remember who you are. You're just this person in this relationship, but you're still the same person. You know what I mean? So I think that's important. I mean, a lot of
So
women,
you
they, you
either
know,
grow together or grow apart, basically.
exactly. They want the man to stay up under them all the time. But you can't expect for a man to do that, because the man had people that he knew before he got in a relationship with you. But if you have trust, you're all right with that, because you feel as if he says he's going with his friends, that's where he's going. Now, once he shows he can't be trusted, then that's a whole different situation. That's a whole different, you know, that's a whole different level of understanding. You know what I mean? But if you have that trust and you have that communication, then the two people should be able to mesh together and then have their separate lives as well. You know, and then when they come together, they do things that they both enjoy, which, you know, you can find people that have a tendency to enjoy some of the things that you enjoy. Maybe not everything, but some of the things, you know what I mean? So I think
So
that's
here's
important.
my thing to you. Do you think that trust is actually the foundation for love to be based upon?
I
Because
do.
I know for me, if I don't trust you, I can't love you.
No, no. If I can't trust you, I don't want to be bothered, because I'm not going to be running myself crazy with, you know, checking your phone and looking at all your texts and all your phone calls and, you
Oh
know,
my
coming to your
God.
job.
Like,
I'm
don't
not
you
doing,
have something else to do?
yes,
Then you
I'm not
become a
doing that.
stalker.
Yes, I am not stalking nobody. If I can't trust you, I do not want to be so bothered. That's it. And if you don't know how to communicate with me, that's another red flag. If you don't know how to sit and have a
A
civilized
conversation.
conversation, I cannot be so bothered. I can't.
So you believe speak to me, not at me?
Yes, yes. If you're in a relationship, the two of you should be able to sit down and talk about any and everything, whether it's finances, you know, things about sexual problems, whatever. The two of you are in a relationship. You two people are together in this relationship. To make this thing work, you should be able to sit and have a civilized conversation about whatsoever, without anybody screaming, without anybody acting out, you know, without any, you know, fear of violence or anything. The two of you should be able to communicate. If you can't communicate, then what are you there for? What are you there for?
Exactly.
So that's my take on it. I don't know if anybody
Now,
else
is all of this in the
feels
book as
that way.
well? Is all of this in the book as well?
These things are talked about. So it's things are discussed on a very small level. So, you know, obviously I'm going to probably be doing something in a follow-up nature to follow up with this one. But this is just a preliminary, you know, introduction to things that can help things, you know, to work out.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, Miss
Yes.
Lynn, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. Honor and respect, sis. And when it comes to an update, you're always welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Oh,
And to
thank you.
connect with you, if they would like to connect with you, how can they reach you?
ladyfingersnyc.com, or also my contact information, my email and my phone numbers, and my website as well, if they want to DM me.
And what is it? What is it? Can you just give it to us? Give it to us. Give it to me.
Okay, my my email is Hankins Lynn 509 at yahoo.com, and then my cell number 347-445-0723.
Awesome. Oh my goodness, Lynn. Thank you. And you're welcome back anytime to give us an update on what's going on.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Yes.
And keep smiling. Keep smiling. And whenever I do decide to do anything with this, you'll see it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for having me today. Listen, I really appreciate it.
I used to wear my hair like that. I used to wear my hair like that for years. I've rocked a big afro. I've rocked a bald head.
Okay.
I've rocked a mohawk, the Jerry curl, braids, perm.
Okay.
2 different types of locks.
So
I've had almost like every color. This is the first. I've been gray since what, 18? And since the pandemic, I grayed early.
But it looks so nice. It looks so nice on you. It really does.
It's since the pandemic that I'm actually just letting it just be natural.
Do its thing. Yes. Okay. Well, it works. It definitely works for you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Lynn. And let's connect again, okay? And I'll send you a copy of this, all right?
Thank you so much for having me today, Jennifer. You have a great one.
Too. You too. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.